Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for the 24th of February. We'll also look at ETH as well, where we've come off the highs, so we need to talk about this a little bit. And I want to explore different possibilities with this as well. One of the first things that I want to talk about is if you've been a penny stock trader for a while, then you'll understand the sort of the looping effect of what's actually occurred down here, where the market pushes up. And it could be pushing up to 10 cents or 50 cents or whatever, but stocks, when they start, they tend to sort of spike up and then they drift back down, and then they'll spike up again, and then they'll drift back down, and then they'll spike up further, and they have these deep pullbacks and peaks and so on. So we may be seeing a version of this here. So the worst case scenario that could happen, and I think it's good to look at the worst and the best, is that it could end up coming down here like this, like it's done over here like this, and then waddle away here for a while and then pick up again like that. So we could be in this looping effect that you see in penny stocks. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is I've seen a few Elliott counts out there that people have shown me, and this one here is pretty much a stock standard count, and I need to talk about it in a couple of ways. So first of all, there's folks out here that haven't counted this as 1 and 2. They've counted, they may have just have counted it differently, and they don't worry about it. They just start from here with this, and they're just looking up at 5 waves here. And in that case there, if we were just looking up at 5 waves here and forgetting this, because it's hard to call this an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave way up here, you could possibly do that, but it's highly unusual. But you could count all of this here, some sort of A wave, B wave, and some sort of finishing down here for that, and not include that as a 1 and 2, because if you include that as a 1 and 2 here, then you could look at this as 5 waves up here for 3, and then coming back for 4 here, all the way for one lesser degree. That would be the 38.2% retracement level. And there's a lot of options going on through here, so there's a lot of institutional support around the 40. So so the move up here, if we just take this by itself here, then we would look at this here in terms of looking at the 50-60% retracement level in this area, which takes us down into the 38,000, 25,000 sort of area at that point, and then move up from that point. Would we look at this as wave 1 here and back for wave 2 here, and then moving up off there? So they're two of the things that can occur at this stage. So we could get this big looping effect down here. We could just get down to this point and then push off from that point there. And this is pretty much the stock standard sort of count that's out there in Elliott terms. There is a bit of a change. There's some folks that have got wave 1 sitting over here as well. But my count's a little bit different. So I'll just bring that in here, and that's also using 1 and 2 here. Well, if I go to the weekly chart first, that might be the best maybe the best bet. So I'm looking at this as 1 and 2 here, and also 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then moving up here. So this is my count, and I was always a little bit amazed that we didn't have the correction at 50, because normally it would just push up to like 53, 54 or something. I've never really seen it push up that high to 58. But look, it's come back down into that space, and I think that's where we sort of are with this. And so in this case, I'm expecting a pullback that can take us into the low 40s, and then push up from that, and continue its climb from that point. I mean, that's what I think, and I have to trade and position myself in what I think, and you have to do what you think is right as well. But there's a couple of things that we can do along the way to ease the burden of all of this as well. So that's the weekly there. If I just go to my daily chart here, it looks a bit like this. So, I mean, this is what I originally expected here, and we're just tracking these 5 waves up through here. So, and then just looking for an ABC correction here. Now, it's possible for this wave 4 to pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, but that would be more than 40%, maybe if I change it to log scale. But normally when you get parabolic moves like this, you would end up working with the top of wave 3, not the bottom of wave 4, when you get in a parabolic move as such. And yeah, we can see that this market's still growing, let's say, because you can see all the price action. The bars here are really quite small, aren't they? And then the ranges in the bars start to get a bit larger and larger in through all of this here. So it's just growing, you know, it's just waking up, so to speak. So yeah, the 38.2% retracement level comes down to from this low here somewhere. Just going to get that. We can have a look at that while we're here. I need to do that a little bit better on more of an intraday. Okay, well look, it takes us into the 40. We can just use that for the time being. So the question now is to understand this point here. I mean, if it's going to be a bear market, well then it's just going to continue to come straight down. Now, one of the things that are always a little bit scary is, like, let's just go to intraday somewhere, 4 hours should do the trick. Anyway, this is what I'm thinking, wave 4 here and then moving up for wave 5. Now, what happens normally with stocks and things is that when a market pushes up and finds a top, it's normally we have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. So normally what happens is that the A wave is normally really always quite sharp, because once it starts, it just takes out everybody's stops and so on. So it moves quite quickly within the market space. So the A wave is normally really quite fast, and it's a little bit frightening and all the rest of it. And then the B wave comes in, and then the C wave comes in. Now the C wave, what we want to see here in this C wave here, we don't want to see it on the same angle as wave A here, because if that's the case, if wave C is on the same angle, then it's likely to be a third wave coming down. But if we can see the A, the B, and the C wave here on more of an angle here compared to wave A, well then we'll know that we've got a C wave in play, because C waves are a little bit lazier, and they'll be in 5 waves as well. So yeah, so that's one thing that we're looking at. And so if you're a long-term trade, everybody's doing different things, aren't they? I mean, some people are trading with no leverage. There's other folks that are trading on leverage. They're all sort of scalpers and intraday traders, and they don't hold positions at the end of the day and all these sorts of things. And then then you get people that are sort of investing in it but don't want to go through these corrections, these sorts of things, so they will sell out and then try to get back in when they can. And then there's folks that won't get out, that want to keep their coins and won't be shaken out of the game, so that takes courage. It takes courage to get through a correction here, especially, it just takes courage, that's all, But the thing is that once you get through some of these types of corrections that are coming here, then you've built up, you've built up positions in all of these, and it just becomes easier and easier as we move up. So anyway, enough waffling. So we need to understand this here. Okay, so I've got this in 2 counts, but one of the counts which is quite easy to follow is the Ethereum count. So I'll just work this one first. In this instance, it's quite easy to count this down as 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here. It's a bit difficult to count this in 5 waves for the Bitcoin thing. but we'll look at that as well. I just wanted to show you here, and the crypto indexes will be the same as this as well. They've got a very clear 5-wave structure here. So that means that after the 5 waves that are down here, we'll get some sort of correction. You know, typically we would go back to the 50-60% retracement level and then have another 5 waves down here. And as I mentioned, we want this 5 waves here to be lazier than this swift move down through here. We want this to be a lazy C wave here. But if we get it coming down faster than, you know, than this one here, well, then we know that we've got a more serious top in play and we're going to be coming much lower. So understanding that can help you get out, but also to be mindful, because we'll have wave 1 and 2 here, and it's the third wave which is going to be strong and powerful. So don't confuse that with, you know, with this, so to speak. You know, it will be quicker, but you need to take things into consideration. But I'll be there to talk us through that somewhat. So yeah, I mean, far as Elliott Wave goes, if we get an impulse wave in the opposite direction of the trend, then we'll get a counter trend here, and then we'll get another 5. So that's what we're looking at here at the moment. So yeah, kind of expect that to push up into there. Now that also gives you an opportunity to get out if you don't want to be holding through this position here. I mean, I'm personally going to be holding through this here. After 5 waves here, if we go any lower, well, then I will take some action. I'll go to the futures market and I will start hedging my position. But until that occurs, then I will just hold through this, because I don't want to move out because of tax implications. Right, so there's ETH and there's 5 waves down. When we come back to have a look at Bitcoin here, we can go to so the hourly chart here. It's just a little bit, we've got short positions in here from yesterday as well. We'll talk about those in a moment on another chart, but yeah, it's a little bit different to count it down here in 5 waves here. So we could count it down as an A wave here and a B wave here and down for a C wave here, but I know that that's not correct either, because this is a correction here. So in this case here, let me just check the 15-minute chart if that's okay, see what I've done. Okay, so this is one way to count it down here. So from the top up here, we could count it down as 1 here and 2 here and 3 here, and then all of this is the 4th wave here, and then down for the 5th wave here. But it's a little bit tricky to see that because Ethereum has already got its 5 waves down. So that means that, do I try to get 5 waves out of this particular structure? And maybe I've done that on the tick chart, I'm not sure, just check. Yeah, so if I lined it up with Ethereum, for example, then I could look at it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this, and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 into here, and then 4 and 5 for the drop for the 3rd wave. The 4th wave back up here, that lines up with Ethereum, and then looking at 5 waves down to this low here for this. And then this whole thing here is corrective. I don't know how big it'll get, but we can look at that as the A wave, 3 waves for the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave, from maybe A there, and then an A and a B and a C wave here. It doesn't count very well as a C wave either, but we'll just put the B wave there for the moment. And then it looks like impulsive up through here as well. So yeah, it's counting as corrective, but yeah, so I'm not quite sure how that's, I mean, I can see that it may be the case that this is 1 here and 2 here and 3, 4 and 5 here for the C wave here for this one here. I'm not sure, doesn't kind of look, it's okay, I guess. For our short position, if you were shorting here from yesterday, then it's probably a good idea just to put that down here at the moment like that. And if it drops further, well, then we're fine. You know, we can just keep moving the stop down. But if it was going to move down, then we'd look at this as the wave 4 here, and then we'd need to look at this as wave 5 moving down. So we'd want to be looking at this in 5 waves coming down here. So it would be 1. So it'd be down for 1 here, back for 2, 3, bounce off the old lows down here for 5, and then start working to the upside here. So yeah, I mean, it's easy to count this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, but that wouldn't be right because I know that this is corrective, you know what I mean? So this is either wave 4 here, or we're pushing up into higher ground here for this. So just going back to the hourly chart here for a moment, or even the 15-minute chart, we'll just get that sorted. Where are we here? 15-minute chart. So there is this count here. I mean, if it wasn't for Ethereum, then I would be looking at this count here for this. Yes, of course, wave 4 would overlap wave 1 here. I understand that. But otherwise, we'll just look at, yeah, so just not quite sure what to make of this. We'll just see if this move down here can hold itself on around this level here. Then if it pushes up, then it will only push up in 5 waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the B wave here, right? That's the low of the 3rd wave here. So the point is it, just to let you know, if this goes up here, just to let you know that, oh no, I can see that be counted a different way. Then I've got to move that over there. Okay, I'll just put that there as well. Sorry about that, just thinking on the hop, which is okay. That's what the videos are for, just to shoot the breeze, share ideas, have people comment. So that can be the A wave there. It's a bit of a long shot. I mean, B wave here. I mean, it is the low here, but it just didn't finish off in 5 waves down here, and then the C wave over here for this. Anyway, for me, I'd like to purchase some more Bitcoin in all of this, but I really want to do it down here at this closer to the 40,000 area here. And what I will be doing is looking at the angle of this. So with the angle of this one here, so from the top here down to the bottom, that's really the angle of it to that point, because that's the low. We could take it to there and the high there. So we would want to see this one here move down, you know, on a slight more angle than that. If we see it move down like this, then there's a problem at that point, and then we would need to look at this, copy this. Then we'll need to look at that as a 3rd wave coming down here. If it was going to move down quickly at that point. So yeah, that's about it, folks. Just go to the 4-hour, 1-hour chart just for a moment. So we were looking to go long here if we got a support on here, because we figured out yesterday that if that occurred, it didn't, but if it did occur, then that means that we'd still be going higher at that point. And that was our safe long trade. So our short trade got triggered in here, and I'll just copy that here. I'm just going to put that above there, just going to lock it in and put that red there. So not much of a trade, and could have done worse, could have done better, all that sort of stuff, but it's not over just yet. So just to recap this here, I can see from the crypto indexes and Ethereum that the move down here is in 5 waves. So technically we should have a move up into the supply area here or thereabouts, and then another 5 waves down here. That's what I'm thinking, and this is where I will be looking to buy, as long as this is not coming down in a fashion like that here. So that's where I'm at with this. So in terms of trading it, well, that's the trade at the moment for this. If we rally up to here, then in 5 waves up there, then we could also short it from up there as well. So that means that we would need to look at that in 5. That bit there would be in 5 waves coming into here. It probably wouldn't find support on the top of group 1 at that point. And I could be totally wrong, and this is all just an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. But yeah, possible. But yeah, can't see it at this stage. Alrighty, we'll just give it a bit more room to move and see how we go. The other point with all the smaller altcoins is that they're going to be under pressure from Bitcoin, basically, aren't they? So they're going to have more downside. So they're going to be moving in their own way, probably because they don't have. Well, let's face it, they're not earning any money yet, are they? Half of them, or most of them. I mean, they've got a lot of money. They're being given a lot of money, but are they earning it? Do they have any revenue? I mean, if they don't, well, then they're kind of like a hole, a bucket with holes in, really, aren't they? So those type of things are going to be moving down further and quicker, right? So I do have Polkadot. I haven't even looked at Polkadot yet. I've just been so busy, but and I've got XRP. I don't know what else I've got. I think it's about it, maybe. But I don't care. I'm just going to hold those as well. So I'm not selling anything. Like I mentioned before, taking a 10-year plan. And if I need to hedge my Bitcoin, then after this move down here in 5 waves, if it moves below that, then I will look to hedge at that point. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.